Hello everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be making my mom's birthday cake together. So my mom's birthday is on June 6th and I asked her what cake she would like and she said a chocolate ginger cake. So that's what we're going to be making today. I'm so excited for this cake. I have a plan in my mind and it's going to look so pretty. So let's get started. Alright, so first we are going to place the flour, sugar, and it's 2 cups flour and 2 cups of sugar, and all the ingredients and all the directions and quantities and everything like that will be in the description box below, so definitely check it out. And next we're going to add some baking powder and some baking soda and salt, and then I'm just going to whisk that together. I'm not going to turn on the electric mixer, I'm just going to use, actually maybe, yeah, on low speed. Dry ingredients won't fly around. And this is actually really easy because it's a 1 bowl cake, so you just mix everything together in 1 bowl. It's amazing. And then next, I'm reading off my laptop, so if you see me looking this way, that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. So next, we are going to add some milk. Vegetable oil. 2 large eggs, vanilla extract, and some melted semi-sweet chocolate. And we are going to mix until combined. So next we're going to add 1 cup of boiling water. Now we're going to pour it into 4 6-inch round cake pans. And I got these are from Wilton, and I got them on Amazon, so I'll link them below if you'd like them. If you like the cakes on Instagram that are like really tall, this is the kind of size that you're looking for. So, and evenly distribute the batter. So it looks like super liquidy right now, but don't worry about it, it will bake properly. And if you guys saw my like perfect chocolate cake recipe, I will have it linked in the cards if you would like to make it. That is my absolute favorite chocolate cake recipe, and so that's what I wanted to use for this. But I realized at the last minute I don't have cocoa powder. Oh, it's so frustrating. So I had to substitute melted semi-sweet chocolate. So that's why we're using melted chocolate in this. But if you'd like to use cocoa powder instead, definitely check out that recipe. It looks a little bit darker. The batter looks a little bit darker because of the cocoa powder. And the quantity of the oil is also slightly adjusted. So don't just swap the cocoa powder for the semi-sweet chocolate. Just check out that recipe and that will tell you how to do that. So now that they are all poured into pans, we're going to bake them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for, let me check this recipe, for 30 to 35 minutes. And just stick a little sharp knife inside the center of each one, and if it comes out clean, that means they're done. So I'll see you guys after. Hello everybody, okay, so we are back. The cakes are now cooling, and I'm going to make the buttercream. We're using cocoa powder, so as you can tell, there was an outfit change because I had to go to the grocery store and get cocoa powder. So, first things first, we have 2 cups of unsalted butter, and we're going to beat it with an electric mixer until it's light and fluffy, so like roughly like 2-ish minutes. Alright, so now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of not unsalted butter, ew, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract and mix that in, oh, as well as some milk. I forgot how much this is, but again, recipe is in the description box, so just scroll down and it'll be right there. Okay, so next we have some ginger jam, and what I've done is I've microwaved it for about 30 seconds until it's liquid, and we're going to strain it into the buttercream. And the reason why we're doing this is because there are chunks of ginger in here, and because we're going to be using a star-shaped piping tip, the chunks are going to get caught in that, and then it's just going to like ruin it and you won't be able to pipe it prettily. I don't know. So, we still want the flavor, but we don't want the pieces in the actual buttercream that we're going to be piping. So, we're going to pour it through, or press it, or whatever, through a mesh sieve to get the jelly. but not the pieces of ginger. But we're gonna be using more ginger jam to spread on the cake, and so we're still gonna get ginger pieces, just not in the physical buttercream itself. And I feel like you can save this ginger for the other stage when we're like layering the cake. But yeah, so I'm just gonna give this a little pulse, or a little mix. It is so messy with the milk and the butter, I regret that. Alright, so now we're gonna add the confectioner sugar. We're gonna add it about like 1 cup at a time, and mixing with each addition. Alright, and now we're going to add our cocoa powder. And this is unsweetened if you're curious. It's like there's clearly 4 cups of sugar in here. We don't need any extra sweetness. Alright, and there we go. There is our luscious, oh my god, like look at even like that texture of just doing that. It's so light and fluffy. So, too excited. So the buttercream is done, and now we're going to assemble the cake and make it so pretty. And my mom's like in the other room, so she's hearing me like narrate all of this, which is weird, so the surprise is ruined. Okay, so now we have the cakes, and I am going to remove them from the pan. Just gonna slide a knife on the edges. They feel so moist. It's so nice. This is the most moist, I was gonna say moistest, but I don't think that's the word. This is the most moist chocolate cake you will ever have, but it's so good. So good. So this definitely feels even more moist than my version where I use cocoa powder instead of melted chocolate. So if you want something that is like so soft and like chocolatey, try this one out. Alright, so we're gonna go one by one. It's like heavy and moist. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, so I know so many people hate the word moist, and I think I just said it like 80 times in the sentence. So what I have here is about 1 cup of that ginger jam, but I've heated it in the microwave for about 1 minute. I did it in 30-second intervals, but until it's hot and very, very liquidy. And what we're gonna do is we're going to brush this onto each layer as we are stacking the cake. And what it's gonna do, it's gonna steep into the chocolate cake and flavor it like ginger. And see, this is when the little ginger pieces are nice because it'll add like a little kick, a little extra kick of ginger. But again, you don't want that in the buttercream because it won't go on smooth. So next, I'm gonna add another layer. I think I'm just gonna flip this one upside down and stick it on that way. Yep. That works, doesn't it? Yes, okay. And then we're going to spread some more jam on top. And you can trim off the tops and bottoms if you like, again, just to keep them flat. This cake is actually significantly softer than the other version though, so I don't want to kind of like, I don't know, disfigure it, because I feel like slicing it too much might encourage that. Alright, so, oh my god, no. How many of you noticed this before I did? Okay, so before you put the second layer of cake on top, you have to put buttercream on top of that. Okay, so we're gonna do a healthy dollop of buttercream and smooth that on. And so the spatula I'm using is from Wilton, and it is wonderful for decorating and spreading buttercream. Normally I've used offset spatulas. This might be considered one as well, but it's one that like goes down and then flat. And I thought that those are better than this one, but Wilton actually sent this to me and I prefer it. I don't know what it is, I just like, it is lovely. Okay, so we're gonna put the other cake layer on top, add some more of that ginger jam, because I'm sure some came off when I peeled it off the cake. And we're gonna add more buttercream. And this buttercream isn't too sweet. Obviously it's buttercream, so it's sweet. But it's not like sickly sweet. There's a nice balance to it, which I like. Okay, so the story time. So I booked my flight to New York maybe like a week and a half ago. And I'm from Canada. I live in Canada, if you guys don't know. And normally, I think you used to need your passport number to book a flight. Maybe just to the States you don't anymore. I don't know. But they didn't ask for it. And I was looking, it's always in my desk drawer. My passport stays in my desk drawer. So like when I was booking it, I was gonna take my passport out anyways because I didn't know if they'd ask for the number or not, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, but it must be just under some paper or something like very close by. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it'll show up. And then this whole week I'm like, you have to set aside time to look for your passport because like you don't know how long it's gonna take to find. And last night, I've never been so exhausted in my life. So yesterday actually I was looking at condos to buy. I'm at that stage of my life where I want to actually own. I'm not at that point just yet, but I think next year is going to be the year for me. So I was looking at a building, fell in love with it. I want to do a condo tour so badly, but I don't own a unit yet. One day you will see, and my excitement will be palpable. Palatable? Not palatable. That's the wrong word. Anyways, so I came home. I was so tired, so tired. I think it was just like information overload from like looking at units and stuff like that. And I napped for about 3 hours. I was so tired. And then I woke up, I'm like, I need to find this passport. I'm like, you're flying out in 2 days. And I couldn't find it. I spent so much. I went through every single purse. I looked through every single pocket. I went through my office. I looked at everything. And I was so tired I could like barely see straight. But I still couldn't find it. And it was stressing me out so much. Oh my gosh. Because I'm not the kind of person to ever lose anything. Normally, I seem to at least look like I have my life somewhat together. Who knows how accurate that actually is, but I couldn't find it. And so today, this one morning, I spent a good 3 hours tearing my condo apart to find it. Finally found it, and it was in my office bookshelf, wedged in between 2 old planners. Like, why would I put, like, why did past Kayla do that? I don't understand. Why did I think that that was a good idea? Like, I just, do you ever do that where like you decide to put something somewhere new because you think that new spot is better, and then you forget where that new spot is, and you go to your old spot and it's not there, and you just want to kick yourself. And the stupid thing is I spend so much time on the computer that I was like, can I just Google where in my house my passport is? And I'm like, no, life doesn't work like that. But yeah, I was stressed out, but it worked out. I found my passport, so I can actually go to New York. I was about to put cake on there without buttercream again. So yeah, that was like today's little drama. And the dogs were like bouncing around me and like were all excited because they somehow thought it was like a game because I was moving everything and throwing stuff all over my condo trying to like find the passport. But I ended up cleaning out my front whole closet, and it's a lot tidier now because I take everything out. So, silver lining perhaps. Precarious. Look at that. Oh my god. Okay, so now I'm gonna coat it in a thin layer of buttercream, the entire cake. And this is called a crumb coat. So what this coat does, it's called a crumb coat, and it will catch. This cake is seriously leaning. It will catch any of the crumbs in the cake in this layer of buttercream so that when we're spreading the final clean layer of buttercream on top, you won't see any crumbs sticking through. So it doesn't matter if this layer looks pretty or not. All you want to do is just have a nice even layer and coat the entire surface of the cake. So it seems that adding the melted chocolate instead of the cocoa powder makes a very, very moist cake, but it's not as structurally sound as the original recipe. So it's just good to know. So this might actually be suited better for cupcakes, or if you're making like a trifle or something like that, where the weight of the layers isn't like bearing down on the other layers of the cake. Oh my god. Okay, so I've popped the cake in the fridge, not the fridge in the cake. And so it's chilled a little bit. As you guys can see, it's leaning, but we're just gonna go with it. It's okay, this happens. It will still taste good. When I take the thumbnail, I'm just gonna like angle it so you guys can't see the lean. Alright, anyway, so I'm gonna give it another little coat in buttercream just to even everything out, make it look pretty. And it's also going to cover that crumb coat and any crumbs that were caught in the crumb coat. Okay, so now I'm going to take the excess chocolate frosting, I'm going to pop it into a piping bag fitted with a star-shaped piping tip, and it's a pretty large one. And we're going to make dollops on the top of the cake. Alright, so now, just like the other chocolate cake, because I love the way it looked, I am going to make 4 little swirls on the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in between those, instead of swirling the piping tip, I'm just going to wiggle it, and it's going to look like ruffles. Like how pretty does that look? It's so cute, and it's just such a slight little shift in technique, but it makes it, or it gives it the cutest look, apart from the Leaning Tower of Pisa we have going on here. So disappointing! Oh, you know, like all the cakes that I don't do for like special occasions, they look pretty. When I do them for people, always something goes wrong. This is why I don't have a bakery. If I ever open one, it will not be me baking them. It will be a trained pastry chef. Okay, so now I have these gold sprinkles from Wilton, and I'll link them in the bio if you want to pick them up. But what I'm going to do is we are going to place them on the bottom third of the cake. So I am going to put some in my hand. This is the easiest way of doing it. You're gonna get sprinkles everywhere. You can put a baking sheet actually underneath this if you want it to catch the sprinkles, but we're not gonna do it today. Anyway, we're just going to press it gently up the sides of the cake. Don't press your finger or your hand into the buttercream, just kind of run it along the side of it, and that is going to transfer the sprinkles onto the cake like that. Alright, then I'm going to switch hands because my dominant hand is my right hand and a little hard with my left hand. Also, side tip for you guys, if your cake is leaning like this, or if your cakes have a tendency to lean, you can buy something, I think they're called cake dowels, and you stick them into the cake, and it adds added support and structure so that your cake can rely on those dowels instead of itself, and that will help give you straighter cakes. Okay, so now I'm just kind of gonna add a bit more on top just to kind of make it look like it's slowly fading up into the rest of the cake. Okay, so now I have some candied ginger, and I'm just going to cut it with scissors into little chunks, and we're going to stick them on top of the dollops. And as we do this, we're going to pretend that the cake doesn't look like a toad. Can you hear my mom laughing in the other room? At least she's laughing. So sad. Like a toad cake. I'm so upset. I thought like everyone was gonna be so impressed. Like, oh my gosh, Kayla, like this looks so pretty. Like, oh my gosh, Kayla, like why are you watching your channel because you don't know what you're doing? Alright. My mom hasn't seen it, but when she looks at it, it's gonna be even more toad. Okay, so now I have these little star-shaped sprinkles from Wilton, and they're golden as well. And so we're just gonna, oh my god, that was too much. Alright, well this cake sucks anyway, so nothing's changing. Oh my god. She's driving this home with her, and like, I almost guarantee that it's gonna fall apart when she's driving it. Like, in theory, it looks pretty, right? Do you want to come and see it? Should we film your reaction? She says no. Really? Come on. But come look at the toad cake. The world needs to see what... It's so messy. You can stand behind it and I can hear your reaction. She's laughing.
It looks like a hat.
There's no good angle. How do I title this? Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. It smells nice. I love you anyways.
Anyways.
It looks like a Rolo.
Supposed to look like a cylinder. How did this happen? I don't want to slice it. You can't slice it. It's just gonna like fall. It's like a chocolate orange. It's just gonna
With the chocolate orange, you just whack it from the top.
You may as well.
Oh my gosh.
I'm crying. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't use this recipe. Use my other recipe. I will have it linked here.
Thanks a lot.
When I say, usually with pride, that I wing all my recipes, this is an instance where it didn't work out. Because you end up with toad cake. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. At least it was funny. And I will see you in tomorrow's videos. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button. Ring the notification bell if you want to see more like this. Shut up, stop laughing at me. She's like crying. Oh my god, so am I. What did you say? Okay. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.